Hey everybody, I'm Marcel. Welcome to my channel. I hope you are all doing great. I'm doing great. You know why? Because I feel healthy, I feel happy to be alive, and I have tons of energy, and my body is pain-free. But I wasn't always like this. Actually, I was really healthy for most of my life up until 2017. I ate right and exercised. I did all the things you're supposed to do to be healthy. And I was healthy. That is, until I wasn't. In 2017, everything changed. My health changed for the worst. Today, I'm going to tell you the crazy, almost unbelievable story about how I got sick and then how I got healthy again. But first, I'm going to give you a spoiler. Today, I'm a raw food vegan. I only eat uncooked fruits, vegetables, and nuts. And I don't take any medications. I don't even use supplements. And I have another secret that keeps me super healthy. But I'll save that for later. So in 2017, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I started having some really bad pain. I mean, severe, in a place where you don't want to experience pain. I had testicular pain. I know you guys can relate. At first, I thought probably no big deal. I started taking Tylenol and ibuprofen. I figured it would go away on its own. But it didn't. So I went to see a medical doctor. I had an x-ray of my abdomen done, and I was told I was suffering from constipation. I thought that sounded strange. I was having regular bowel movements, no pain in my abdomen, at least at that point. But he's a doctor, right? You know, he's supposed to know what he's doing. But then, little by little, I did begin to experience constipation and still had the pain. He sent me over to Duke University Medical Center for a colonoscopy. They said I had some ulcers in my stomach. They prescribed some medicine and said that was all they could do. But that didn't resolve the issue at all. I still had testicular pain. So he scheduled me for surgery aimed at resolving the testicular pain. But that did nothing for my abdominal issues. Out of desperation, I did some colon hydrotherapy sessions. But the symptoms, the constipation, and bloating didn't improve at all. Now it was 2018 and over a year had gone by. I wasn't getting anywhere working with these medical people. I decided that I needed to focus all of my attention on my health. So what did I do? I quit my job and became a medical tourist. Somewhere in this world, there had to be some doctor or healer who could figure out what was wrong with me and help me get healthy again. Now, one of my stops was in Pune, in the state of Maharashtra in India. I went to a health center there called Healing Hands Clinic. They had a famous doctor who specialized in gastrointestinal disorders. But I found out he was a surgeon and he recommended surgery. I was really confused. Were my abdominal issues related to testicular pain? Nobody was ever able to answer that question for me. Now, something inside of me was telling me not to do the surgery. But again, he was an expert. I consulted with another doctor and he said he didn't think my situation called for surgery. Then I called an Indian friend of mine and he recommended that I go to Ludhiana in Punjab, up in northwest India. He said there was a hospital up there he was sure could help me. Now, at this hospital, they did a colonoscopy and said I had slow gastric motility. Okay, I thought, but how do I fix it? How do I speed up my gastric motility? They didn't know. They prescribed some medication. But I never lost hope. I kept thinking, eventually one of these doctors is going to help me figure this thing out. So I jumped on a plane and flew down to Mumbai, made an appointment at the hospital there. They did a bunch of tests, including rectal manometry. They recommended doing biofeedback. I was like, really? I said, okay, I'll try biofeedback. I was willing to try anything at this point. They also prescribed medication, but it was the same medication the doctor at the hospital in Punjab prescribed. It didn't do anything. Nothing. Eventually, I just gave up on the Indian medical system and returned to the United States. But I hadn't given up on getting healthy. I wasn't sure what to do next. I had already decided that the doctors in North Carolina were dead end. Then In 2021, my body started to swell up, especially my legs. I made an appointment and went in for some tests. I had issues with my blood pressure since 2007, and I thought I might have problems with my veins, perhaps even my arteries. But they said I had developed edema. Then I learned that Turkey had a great medical system. It wasn't costly like the United States healthcare system. So I got on a plane and flew to Turkey. The doctors there weren't that helpful. They did a bunch of tests, found nothing wrong with my veins. However, they did find some tiny nodules in my thyroid area, which they told me was no big deal. Nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. After I returned to the US, I was really frustrated. Where could I go? Who could help me get healthy again? I did some research and came to the conclusion that Mayo Clinic up in Minnesota was probably the best and most advanced medical center in the US, maybe even the world. Surely the experts at Mayo Clinic could help me get healthy again. I met with some specialists and they did some tests up at Mayo. When I returned to get the results, the doctor said I should wear embolic stockings. She explained that embolic stockings would provide compression against my legs to reduce the effects of the edema. She said that was the best she could do for me. She further added that the issue was in my head. I was like, what? I just gave up and returned to North Carolina. I could not understand how someone could say that the issue was in my head. Now, by December 2023, my gastrointestinal issues were getting worse by the day. So I made an appointment and flew up to Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota again. I was really excited this time around. Finally, I was going to get better. My research had showed me that the gastrointestinal doctors there were the best. A lot of tests were done over several days. I spent Christmas up there at Rochester just so I could get all my tests done. In the end, I was prescribed some laxatives. That's it. The same medicine that several years ago had been prescribed at Duke Medical Center. I have to admit, I was in shock. That's the best Mayo Clinic could do? I wanted to know the root cause of my gastrointestinal issues. I wanted a cure. Again, I left and flew back home to Durham, North Carolina. Got home, got back into my routine, and just tried to cope with everything. On one particular occasion, my gastrointestinal issues got so bad that I thought I had reached the end of the road. Even the swellings on my legs got so bad, I had trouble sleeping. So I went to my primary care doctor and said, here was the issue. She said I should go take a COVID test. Really? A COVID test? COVID is a long issue. I had abdominal symptoms and edema. I'm not a doctor, but I knew I didn't have COVID. Now, that was the final nail in the coffin of my relationship with conventional medicine. For 6 years, not a single doctor was able to diagnose what was causing my health issues. Then I remembered a simple thing I used to do when my gastrointestinal issues were so bad and I didn't know what else to do. It is called water fasting. It always made me feel good, gave me extra energy. I decided to do a 2-day water fast over the weekend. Wow! I hadn't felt this good for 7 years. It almost eliminated all the symptoms. It was like a miracle. Just 2 days on nothing but water. I decided that when I broke the fast, I would eat the purest food I could. I began eating only raw, uncooked food. I stopped all the medications. Then the following weekend, I did another 2-day water-only fast. It was like a U-turn. It was 180 degrees different. All of my symptoms improved. My digestion returned to normal. The swelling in my legs went down. I had more energy. I had good sleep. I went and had my blood pressure checked, and it was normal. I began a routine of periodic water fast and a raw vegan diet. The longest fast I did was 5 days. Fasting is like hitting the reset button on your health. The edema in my legs is completely gone now. My mind and memory are sharp. Even my eyesight has improved. What I learned from all of this is that I have to take responsibility for my own health and well-being. Hippocrates said, "Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine thy food." And that includes giving the body a break from eating sometimes. Currently, I fast every Sunday. I hope all of you try a 2-day water-only fast. In my next video, I'm going to go through step by step the process of exactly how to do it. Stay healthy, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
I'm Linda.
And I'm Aswani.
And we are the Jaf Kids. Please like
And subscribe.
and hit that notification bell.
Vegan fasting, vegan fasting.
Has turned my life around.
Vegan fasting, vegan fasting.
Could be what you need.
Water fasting.